welcome to this edition of the Evening Review. My name is Taiwan Jabela, your host for tonight. Let's look at the front page of Namibian Sun of today. Tonight, I'm having a singular honor of being joined on the couch by my friend Sunny Boy. He's a musical artist, and he's here to talk to us about business and other things. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure to be here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Man, of course, the question on everybody's mind at the moment is the events of last weekend.
Yes.
A lot has been said about you and other top artists having supposedly violated the state of emergency regulations.
Yeah.
And then people were arrested, people were taken to police stations. What happened on Saturday?
Well, the initial plan
Yeah.
was to have an online concert,
Yeah.
which was to, help in the fight, combat of COVID-19, just to create awareness, to encourage people that, to give them hope,
Yeah.
encourage them to stay home and
Yeah.
play it safe until the whole, deal is done.
Yeah.
So I met up with Tommy, he's the
Yeah.
owner of Funky Lab. We had a discussion, we planned everything to have this show.
Yeah.
Everything was going according to plan. We
Yeah.
were slightly delayed by
Yeah.
technical problems.
Yeah.
So we kind of started a bit late.
Yeah.
Actually, we didn't even start before the whole ordeal started. So while we were there busy setting up, the police shows up. Yeah, like a whole lot of police officers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like a drug raid, the type of things that you see in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. So they show up and then they start, asking for alcohol. Actually, before they got in, because we had locked the doors,
Yeah.
I just saw flashlights by the window, like, hey, open.
Yeah.
So now the door was locked and we couldn't open because one of the staff members who had the key, I think, went to the bathroom or something. So for them, maybe thought we were trying to hide or something,
Yeah.
So I was running around looking for the guy, and the guys were banging on the door like, open.
Yeah.
They had actually jumped the fence.
I see.
Yeah, they jumped the fence and then they moved in and then, they started grabbing us and say, hey, where's the alcohol?
Yeah.
How are you here? I'm like, no, sir. With all due respect, we just want to shoot an online concert, about, COVID-19. Yeah, and that's when everything started going crazy. All of a sudden I'm seeing people that are popping up from nowhere behind. I didn't know that there were so many people in the establishment. I don't know how they got in there.
Yeah.
Who they came to see, because where we were, there weren't so many people who were kind of following the regulations. There were probably around 9 people.
I see.
In the lounge where we were shooting.
Yeah.
But behind it there were some other people.
Yeah. Were you guys consuming alcohol? Like, were you disobeying the social distancing rules?
No, we definitely maintain social distancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I get close to the camera guy just to make sure that the angle is okay. But everybody was sitting here. Top Cherry with her, entourage, her artists were sitting there. My dancers were here. My other guest, my neighbors, was also. We were all good, we were following the protocol. Yeah, and we were not drinking.
Yeah. And they took you to the police station. What happened there? Did you guys post some sort of bail and let go? What happened there?
When we got there, we were, we were asking like, what happened? Why are we being treated like this? Yeah. Because they had to round us up, put us in a queue, and then put us in the back of the van, like criminals. Which was, I think, was uncalled for because we were complying to everything that they were saying. And the police station is just there. We could actually even just walked.
Is it the Windhoek police station?
Yeah, the Windhoek town police station. But then when we got there, they were like, no, you broke some regulations. I understand the fact that because we surpassed the amount of people that are supposed to be in the area, which was beyond my control. I don't really know what happened. Okay. I also still take that blame because supposed to maybe be extra cautious.
Yes.
Yeah. The only thing I would say we did not follow was to get a permit that we want to host a show of this, like this, and we want to do this and want to do that, but we didn't, and that's where I knew like, that was my mistake. But then, according to how I communicated with the owner of the establishment, I thought he had done it. Yeah. Okay. Only come to realize that he hasn't. Yeah, and that's where maybe the problem also came. In their mind, they thought we were clubbing and partying and selling liquor, alcohol, but there was no alcohol there. And they found like a bottle, like a little bit of alcohol here, and the owner, said, no, it's a lounge, so there must be some sort of liquor, around there somewhere, maybe left, from those previous days, So they assumed that we were drinking and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how did you get released? You had to pay, or did they?
They had to fine us. Each and everybody was fined 2,000 Namibian dollars. When we got there, and then the whole process was going on. The police officers asked us questions. We complied. We answered. They gave us, like we signed some papers and whatnot. And they were about to release us. They had actually released us until the chief came. The chief, I think, commander, commissioner or something. He came. And then he did not understand how we were released like that. Like, no, how do you just release people when they, have not paid or anything like that? This corruption was screaming corruption. And we didn't know because we were just there. We were just doing whatever it is that we were told to do. Sign here, put your thing, take a picture. Whatever it is that we had to do, we did. And when we were released, just when we were about to go out, they call us back in and say, no, you guys are rearrested. You are under arrest again because things don't add up. So we had to go back in there, and that's when like the nightmare started because now we had to do everything all over again. And we had to stay there for 18 hours straight, no sleeping, standing there. Nothing to eat, nothing to drink.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you recognize that being Sunny Boy, the music star, that you inspire a lot of people, and that do you think you should have behaved differently, especially in the context of you being a role model?
Yeah, no, definitely. I realize, I know for a fact that nobody is above the law. Yes, and that's why we had to comply. I had to calm everybody down because some people didn't understand. I had to calm everybody down, like, guys, you have to respect the law. You have to respect the officers, do whatever it is that we're supposed to do because we are the ones who are at fault here at the end of the day. Yes. It doesn't mean because you are Sunny Boy, you can do whatever it is that you please. Yes, and that was not the intention at all. My intention was just to, one thing is to make sure that I remain relevant in the eyes of my people because they miss us, we don't get to perform anymore. And then my second thing is also was just to help, create awareness because when somebody says it, it's okay. But when some Sunny Boy says it, then like maybe we should listen to Sunny Boy, because that's the influence that we have towards the nation. You know, we are role models. What we do, people follow. If we start drinking in public, people will be like, oh, let's also drink. And
which brings me exactly to my next question. To say that at your level, do you feel that sometimes you get overly and perhaps unfairly scrutinized because you're Sunny Boy, that somehow everything that you do, everything that you say gets actually scrutinized?
Man, it's an everyday thing for us. You as a public figure, you basically walk on eggshells, you know. You gotta watch where you walk, what you do, what you say. You know, it's not easy, but we've learned to cope. But then at the end of the day, we are also just human. We are not perfect. Yeah, we all make mistakes, you know, but you should not hold that against me, you know, because come on, man, it's life. You sometimes you get overwhelmed and then you forget to do certain things, but not because you feel like you're above the law, because you're a celebrity, you can do whatever it is that you please. You just sometimes forget, or you miss certain things. And sometimes they come, you regret, or they come bite you, you know. But
how often do you think you have to act not as yourself just because there's someone watching? Maybe you love your beer, but now because you're a Sunny Boy, you have to drink.
You have to drink.
Measure. How many times do you have actually to give up yourself just to please the people?
The minute you step out of the door from your house, you have to put on that persona, or Sunny Boy. So everything that you do, you know, people don't even understand the fact that if you just step out there and you get in a taxi, they don't expect to see Sunny Boy in a taxi. They'll be like, what are you doing in a taxi? Where's your car? It's supposed to have a limousine or something, I don't know. But it's an everyday thing for us, you know, and like I say, we are only human. Sometimes you can even be in a bad mood and people are bothering you, they want to take selfies, but as hard as it is, you just have to do what you have to do to maintain that, because it's what you chose. It comes with a package, which I don't regret. I love being me. I love being Sunny Boy. I enjoy it, actually. It has its perks as well.
Indeed. I know. So one of those perks, speaking of perks, one of those perks would be because you are Sunny Boy, you are famous, you are popular. How often do you get people throwing themselves at you? Maybe people of the opposite gender, just because. And how do you control these kind of things?
Well, people throw themselves at you because you are a public figure. They want to be associated with you. It doesn't even matter what gender it is. You know, you find guys who just want to be seen with you. Call you at their parties. So when you show up, then they'll be like, you see, I know Sunny Boy. You know, just to get that, you know, the credit. As musicians, people get amazed by the talent or the way we can, you know, command like even a crowd. Like, how do you do it? It's like a power. It's a God-given power that you have to also handle responsibly. So, you know, for people like us, when we grow up, you have people throwing themselves at you all day, every day. You know, but it's fun. And then eventually, you know, you grow out of it. You realize, okay, fine. But it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing at all, because it's there constantly. And sometimes, like I say, we're not perfect. We are only human. You succumb to certain, you know, temptation, so you get drawn in. It's a matter of how you maintain or control that.
Exactly. So so this show is we take the Evening Review as a very serious platform. It's not a tabloid platform. So I mean, I'm not gonna, for example, ask about about issues also that came before the Saturday issue. You were still also being in that space.
I had other issues that were going on in my life.
Exactly.
But
are you at liberty to say anything at all about that? Maybe just to set the record straight.
All I can say is that, you know, certain things are not personal.
Yes.
Yeah. I know we are public figures and all, but at the end of the day, we also have lives
Yes.
that we live.
Yes.
And sometimes you just want to keep it as it is. Yeah.
Definitely. Let's talk, before we wind up, let's talk about music.
Okay.
So you came, I mean, the first time I heard of you was with Coco, with Gaza at the time.
Yeah, that's like my breakout song, but
Yes.
yeah, Gaza made me through some other songs.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
You've never looked back since then. Are you in music for entertainment, or is it for business?
I'm in it for both. But I'm a creative. I think I was just born to be a creative. I love making music.
Yeah.
I love entertaining people. But you know, as you grow, then you realize that you need something to fall back on, and that's when after that you start also looking around into entrepreneurship. You know, open up businesses and stuff like that. So basically, that's the route I'm headed to as we speak. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And how is it as a business? Is it in the Namibian context? I know that globally it's a huge industry, but here at home, how is it? Can you pay your bills?
Yeah, we can pay the bills.
Yeah.
The music industry has grown enormously.
Yes.
At least now, even the corporates, the public sector, I mean, private sectors are also taking notice of us, and then they want to use our services into promoting their products, their brands. So that's when endorsement deals come through now. You see? So it's a matter of, as an artist, you need to make sure that you work hard, remain relevant, and you know, make people want you or want to see you, associate with you. And if you are in that space, you know, at that stage, that's when the corporates want to, you know, to also work with you. So yes, music pays the bills. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, you gotta work very hard, especially for our country where the population is quite less. You know, like if you look at our population, it's so less, and then you release an album in a very, you know, a small population. And then you have things like piracy. You release an album, you sell maybe a couple of copies through the first month. After that, people start making copies, and then they pirate the thing and start spreading it all over. That's when you go to even a Shebeen, and then you find your CD there, but it's not even the original CD. So it's quite tough. But that's why as musicians, we enjoy making music, but then when family comes into place, then you need to also start now looking at other ways of making money or making an income so you can survive and pay the bills. Because it's not just about paying the bills. You got now school fees. Yeah, you need to have like insurance. Yeah, you know, death benefits, all those things. Yeah, so.
Indeed. Yeah, and then, so because corporates, those endorsements come in, they come in handy. They really pump a lot of money in your pocket. Is it therefore important that also the way you carry yourself, because I mean you are associating with brands of people, very. So somehow you have to somehow you have to always maintain that good perfect image of yourself. It's not easy, especially when, you know, people always blow things out of proportion. You do something little and then they make it big, especially on social media. Because you're a Sunny boy.
Yeah, because you're a Sunny boy. And you know, in social media, well, that's the era that we are all headed to. Yeah, and people are taking advantage of that because you don't even know the person, you know. But people, they start tarnishing your image just for doing something small. Like they are perfect themselves. It's not easy trying to maintain a perfect image for the corporates. But I would also like to believe that the corporates, they also see beyond that also, you know. They should also see beyond, not just because of what they are being told. They must also look into the matter themselves and see the type of person you are. You can still, you know, work with you. I mean, we all make mistakes, like I say. Doesn't mean because I made this little mistake, you don't want to, you know, associate yourself with me anymore. We are only human. Yeah, unless you're doing something as horrible as R. Kelly.
Yeah, indeed. The final question to you, Mr. Shipushu, is just the way forward. How do you clean up your image, especially after the events of
Yeah.
last weekend.
Yeah.
How do you go forward in portraying yourself as a responsible person, as
Yeah.
a responsible role model, and as
Yeah.
a responsible brand ambassador of, of some sort?
Some sort, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it starts here.
Yeah.
The evening review.
Yeah.
You shed some light on what happened, so people can understand. Because sometimes people just hear word of mouth from one ear to another, and the story changes.
Yes.
And until you actually, clear the whole air, people will always have a different perception of what happened or of you. So it starts here. You have interviews, you go on social media, you do videos, and you apologize to the people. Yeah, and and maybe do music, just to prove them to like, it's still me.
Yeah,
maybe do an apology song, whichever works for you to clean up your image, so you can remain relevant and people can still want to associate with you.
Indeed. Indeed. Sonny, thank you for coming through, man.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me. I hope I've shed some light on the incidents.
Yes.
I would also just like to say, COVID-19 is a very serious case, and nobody's above the law, so we must adhere to the rules. Yes, don't drink like the government says. It's prohibited. Maintain social distancing. And if you want to do things like online concerts and what, make sure that you get the permit and then you stick to the rules by 10 people in an area. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, very, very important. That's the only way we can overcome this, and then we can move on to our normal lives.
Indeed.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
There was the man himself, Sonny Boy, reflecting on a couple of issues, including, of course, the events of last weekend. The man says that he took blame of some aspects of what happened, and hopefully it's inspiring us to be honest and also to understand what actually happened. My name is Taiwan Jabela. It was a pleasure interviewing the man. Good night.